Is it okay?
I think we need to now let
Okay.
people.
Yeah, I'm letting people in. Shweta, shall we start?
Yes, Vikram, I think we should begin. People are still joining in, but let's get started.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I directly start off, or would you be introducing?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for attending our first event. And I really appreciate all of you taking out the time over the weekend. And mental well being and mental health is something which is very, very close to our heart. And to see such a good turnout on a Saturday morning is very encouraging. Really hope that you enjoy the session. And I really, at the end of the session, the team will provide you with the code to access the app for a month. And we also look forward to getting an honest feedback from each one of you post the session. Over to Vikram now.
Thank you, Shweta. Welcome, everybody. Really adding to what Shweta said. Thank you very much for joining us on Saturday. It's almost like the way I feel is that you are allowing us to, Shweta has allowed us to enter her home where you all are, known to her, and you have trust, and you have come into this session without even knowing what who we are, or what we are going to do. So it means a lot to us, me and my team. So myself, Vikram Shastri, and Amisha Sethi is here. So both of us will be taking you through this session. The session is more so going to be a quick sharing. It's the hope is not that to run you through a presentation, keep it as a monologue, and give you what we call in today's terms as unwanted gyan. So the idea is to share and to see if we can leave you with a few insights and a few experiences, which hopefully you can kind of have some takeaways on. So we'll quickly begin, and please feel free to, you can interject, ask questions at any time. We have a Q&A at the end also, but you're welcome to ask questions. And the way we always like it is, the interaction can be definitely through chat, but you could also unmute yourself and talk. As it is in these COVID times, and we're all in different places. And the good thing about technology is, it allows us to interact like this. So instead of making it hard for you to type on a phone or desktop, please feel free to just unmute yourself and say whatever comes to your mind. And if possible, please mute yourself back so that the noise doesn't come through. So thank you very much, everybody. So let's quickly begin. I will simply not waste any time in introducing myself or my background, or even Amisha's for that matter. The whole focus of why we are here is to introduce meditation and mindfulness for you. So we will simply focus on that. Now, the aim of this session is to keep it interactive. So there are a few exercises, few polls, and of course, we will make you do a small meditation during the course of the session as well. My humble request is to please participate, and that will keep it much more interesting. Having said that, so let's begin. So before even we start anything, I would love you to, for you to see a video. And just give me 1 second. I'm unpausing. Okay. I believe you should be able to see my screen. And okay, so the agenda for the session is just fourfold in nature. Each part of the session is going to be about roughly 10-12 minutes. We'll talk about mindfulness. We'll briefly introduce you to breathwork and meditation. We'll talk a little bit about Black Lotus, but more so focus on any Q&A that you have. Well, first thing is, as I said, we want you to watch a video. So please, many of you might have already seen the video. I will just play it for you. And there is a small poll after that. So just allow me to make the video full screen. Oops. Just give me 1 second, guys. Some reason I'll play it directly on the browser.
Count how many times
there is a question here. So I hope everybody can see the screen. There is a question here. The video is just 2 minutes long, and I'm sure many of you would have seen it already, probably. But if you have not, it is great entertainment. So all we want you to do is to answer the question that is being posted here. Count how many times the players wearing white dress pass the ball. So there are people who are wearing white and other colors. Whoever is wearing white, they will be passing a ball. And all you need to do is count how many times the ball gets passed. Okay, just a 1 minute video. Please watch it and please count. It's an interesting exercise.
Players wearing white pass the ball.
Okay. Did you guys watch it? If you have, I'm going to run a poll now. And all we want you to do is to say how many times the ball was passed. Are you all able to hear me, guys? Everybody, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. So I'm running a poll. Yep. 1 second. Huh? Yes, I've launched the poll. Can you please click the first answer? How many times, how many passes did you see? Some of you are putting in the chat. Nice. Very nice. That's awesome. We'll give it another few seconds for everybody to key it in. Okay. Just a few more seconds for everybody else to also answer. Anybody else who has, yeah. So some of you are answering in the chat. It would be awesome if you can answer in the poll, but that's okay too. So some of you have seen 19 passes. That's unbelievable. You guys have super sharp, eyesight and awareness, I guess. So fantastic. So, almost 50% have answered, and many of them have put the answer in the chat as well, as you can see. So we were able to count the passes, isn't it? And feel free to answer with the voice also, guys. So obviously you were able to see there were white, people in white shirt, t-shirt, and they were passing the ball. And obviously some of us counted 10, some of us 12, etc. But you know what's the funny thing of this entire video is? You will see this. You'll see this. Okay. Now, yes, the total number of times the ball was passed was 16. Okay. So only 24% of all of you who answered got it right, actually. So I'm ending the poll now. All right. So there were 16 passes, but that's not the key here. Let's watch the rest of the video for you to really understand what the video is all about and what this exercise is all about.
The correct answer is 16 passes. Did you spot the gorilla? For people who haven't seen or heard about a video like this before, about half missed the gorilla. If you knew about the gorilla, you probably saw it. But did you notice the curtain changing color or the player on the black team leaving the game? Let's rewind and watch it again.
So look at this. This is the video that was played.
Here comes the
Passing
gorilla,
is happening.
and there goes a player, and the curtain is changing.
Do you see the gorilla now? A man in a gorilla dress, right? That person comes,
From
he
red
does
to
this,
gold.
and he goes, and look at the red curtain. It changed to orange. You see? And
When you're looking for a gorilla, you often miss other unexpected events. And that's the monkey business illusion.
so I'm sure maybe many of you had already seen this. I'm just going to stop the share, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah. So probably many of you had already seen this. How many of you have already seen this video? Can you raise your hands? Okay, not many. Fantastic. Then this was worth it to play as well for everyone. Okay, excellent. So thank you for participating in this small exercise. Now here is the question. Even though that the man with gorilla walks in between, we were not able to see, and we were not able to spot them at all, at least for the majority of the people. Yes, some 15 people actually saw the gorilla too, which is amazing, because I could not the first time I saw this video at all. So question comes, why did we miss? All right. So welcome to this session. The first question I want to put towards you is to understand the first topic, what is mindfulness? Obviously, all of us know about this word. We have heard about this. We have read about it. Probably many of you are experts at it as well. But still, considering that this session is an introduction to mindfulness, let us begin with asking ourselves, what is mindfulness? So can somebody share what is mindfulness to you? Anything that comes to your mind. We want to keep this interactive. So please feel free to voice out the answer. What does mindfulness mean? Because look at the word mindful. If you split the word into two, then mind and full seems like the mind is full of something, full of thoughts, full of worries. Is that mindfulness? What do you think? Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Awareness of happenings around you. Such a fantastic thing to be said. Punit is saying to be in the present. Piyusha is saying doing something with full focus and deliberate thought to the activity being done. I couldn't have put that better myself. So fantastic. So many of us know this word, right? So when your mind and full comes together as one word, it actually becomes mindful. The last L drops off. So this mindfulness is what we are talking about, is exactly what you are saying. Staying in the present, living in the moment, awareness without judgment. So beautifully said, Shivani, and giving 100% to what you are doing. So good. So all of us know this word called mindfulness and its meaning. So let me ask you the next question. Can you tell me, when are we usually mindful? When are we usually mindful? Are we mindful all the time? Certainly for myself, I can say that I'm not mindful all the time. So when are we mindful? Anybody? Please share. You can type, you can chat, you can even answer with your voice. Anything that is comfortable for you. Fantastic. When we do things that we love, Soumya says, when we do things we love, when we are attentive, when we are happy and satisfied, when the mind is clear and focused, when we, fantastic, when we are working, when we are busy. All right, absolutely, there are no wrong answers here, and all of you, what you're saying is absolutely right. But if you really look at it, we are fully conscious about the things that are happening. When we are doing something important, Puneet says, Tamandeep says, when we do work with full concentration. I get that. So you're absolutely right. What we have established is, mindfulness means being in the present, being aware of the surroundings and happenings, and giving your best to what is happening currently. We know that we are not mindful all the time, isn't it? We are only mindful some of the times. Like for some examples that you are giving. Like for example, one might become mindful when you're trying something new. You see, like for example, you drink a chocolate milkshake for the very first time in a particular shop, maybe, or in a particular place. The first time you drink it, you are fully concentrating on the taste and giving your best. But question, does this stay with us all the time? Thank you for answering, guys. You guys are awesome, actually. But does this stay with us all the time, guys? This mindfulness, like first time you drink something nice and novel, it's awesome. You are fully focusing on it, but clearly, the 10th sip, maybe your mind is not fully attentive, isn't it? The first sip, yes. Second sip, yes. Third sip, yes. Probably by the fourth sip, you know what you're going to get. So when we expect what is going to happen next, typically our mind does not focus on the present, and suddenly what do? What happens when we are not mindful, guys? Where is our mind? If we are not in the present, where is our mind? Yes, I want to hear from you. So clearly we are not mindful all the time. We are wondering. Okay, very nice. Thinking about something else, absolutely. Maybe thinking about work, maybe thinking about family, and so on and so forth. All right, we are lost. I like that, Kalashi. And one could be disturbed as well. Worrying about the future. Vandana says, absolutely right. In fact, there is a scientific study that was done, which says there are about 60 to 80,000 thoughts that goes in the mind of a person every day. 60 to 80,000. Now, that's a mind-boggling number, but the killer of it was about 7% of the all about either the future thinking about what is going to happen, or about the past, or just worrying, why did this happen, or why is this not happening? Past, future, the thought process. 75% of it, which basically means, and also the study says that 90% of our thoughts are not only majority of filled with worries, but they are the same. Which means what I thought yesterday, today also I'll be thinking the same thing, and day after tomorrow also I'll be thinking the same thing. Which means we are constantly in this run-a-mill of thoughts of the same kind. What a bad thing, isn't it? And clearly, no wonder we lose out on what's happening in the present. I can only give you an example of myself. One day I came out of the house, and I looked at a tree in front of my house, and this was a beautiful tree, nothing fancy, but it was just, it looked beautiful to me. And I quickly went up to my mom and, wow, there is such a wonderful tree in front of our house. Have you seen it? And my mom looked at me quizzically, with a complete pondering look. She gave me and she said, are you crazy? This tree has been there in front of our house for the last 10 years. Now, the tree has been there in front of our house for the last 10 years. I have been passing the tree every day, but I had never seen it. Not even once. And suddenly this one day I saw it and I was like, wow. So, which means majority of us go through our days, go through our lives, thinking the same thing, worrying about things, thinking about what's going to happen in the future. And thereby, what is the consequence? The consequence is we are not present to what is happening. I'm sure all of us know this. Probably some of you are experts in mindfulness meditation, and you have joined us as well. But the idea is to reiterate this, that if we are not mindful, then we are losing our essence of what we can do in the present. Now, I would love to ask Amisha to share her thoughts as well here. So Amisha, can you please go ahead?
Hello, everyone. So just to take on the threads from what Vikram just mentioned, that when we are not in the now, and we are thinking about, we're dwelling in the past, and we are constantly thinking about what's going to happen in the future, the charm of now is lost. And I do want to take you through my own personal story. I was this super excited and had and I was like, always full of dreams when it came to do really well in my academics. And this is way back, like it's almost like 2 decades back. And I do want to narrate to you that the time when I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time doing well and do well in my university to top in mathematics, and that was day was spending a lot of time of course, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it to succeed in something. And I indeed did that. Like, with all sincerity, I did that. But what was terribly missing in my personal story, which on hindsight, now that I realize, is that even though I achieved what I wanted to achieve, I indeed became a university topper in mathematics, and it was such an amazing thing to achieve. But I was not relishing the moment, because that entire journey I spent in dreaming about something instead of being in every single moment of being in that journey. There's a huge difference. One is what you dream to become or what you dream to achieve, or you keep dwelling on. I'm going to be super happy if I achieve something. And the whole journey in itself is so beautiful. All the moments that you spend in building that dream is again so beautiful. And the whole idea here is that if we are mindful in present, if we are mindful of what is happening now, and if we are able to enrich this now, we're going to have a much better experience at the end of that dream. And even if that doesn't happen, let's say, I thankfully was able to achieve what I wanted to achieve. But even if I wouldn't have achieved what I was set for, at least the journey is going to be super beautiful. It's going to be super fruitful. So it's that's the personal story that I wanted to share with you all. Vikram, to you.
Thank you, Amisha. Thank you, Amisha, for that. Well, I mean, I heard your story and I understood that you would have wanted to release the moment. But being a university topper that in mathematics looks like a dream come true. So it's always that for an outsider, they will think that you have it all and everything is going very well and whatnot. But only we know internally how we are probably struggling. To add a funny quip and a funny story of mine from my experience. So just to reiterate, we understand mindfulness is being in the present, and we understand we are not mindful all the time. We are only mindful some of the times, and we are trying to understand when are we mindful at all. So one thing is when we try something new, as we established, and the second thing is probably by accident. Accidentally we might become mindful, being fully in the present. Like what? For example, one day I was climbing a small mountain. Not like a mountain. It was just a simple trek that anybody can go and climb as well. But while I was doing that, since I was not really a very experienced or good climber, my legs slipped. Now, the moment my leg slipped and I started slipping from the small hill that was there, and at that point in time, let me ask you: is it possible that when you are slipping from a mountain, falling for your life, is it possible for the mind to think about the past? Oh my God, why did he say this? Why did she do this? Or think about the future. When will I get the job? Whom will I marry? Why don't I marry that person? Why is that person not, falling in love with me? Do we really think about the past or the future when such things happen, guys? When suddenly life catches you in that situation, does it happen? Certainly for me, I can vouch by experience. The past and the future were very far away. My full attention was in the present, trying to really grab something for my life so that I don't fall down. So that was one incident. The second incident that comes to my mind is, I was in my first job, I was working in another city. Right now I'm in Bangalore. I was in another city, and we used to work till late in the night. And one of the days, I and my two colleagues were walking back to our PG at 2 a.m. in the morning, and it was all very dark. And as I was walking, I stepped on something. You see, it was soft, and I stepped on something. And suddenly what I saw that I'd stepped on was actually a dog's tail. Okay. So I'd stepped on a dog's tail. Now imagine this poor dog sleeping happily in the middle of the night, and some guys, stamping and stomping on the tail. And that too is, it's a very sensitive, thing for the dog. Obviously, the dog got wild and it started, barking like anything. And it was really got so wild that it was about to come and, bite me. And immediately for support, I look at my friends, this side, that side. Both of them are not there, vanish. They have run away. You see, the moment they saw this dog, they ran off. And now I knew I had to do something. You see, immediately on that spot, there was hardly any time to think really. And either I could try to run, but I know the dog would catch me and definitely bite me. So on the spur of the moment, what did I do? Is I ran towards the dog only. I went towards the dog, trying to make some sounds. Probably the dog thought that this is a bigger animal that is coming at me. Let me run away. And the dog ran off. Now, it's a silly incident, true incident, by the way, but a silly one. But the point is this: when we are accidentally caught in situations, we are fully in the present. We are fully mindful. Now, before we go even any further, I want to understand what could we do to become mindful. What are some practices we could do? And I would love to take you through a simple practice right away itself, but I want to hear from you. What are some of the things one can do, like to become mindful right now? For example, we are sitting and listening, and maybe what I'm saying is not like very interesting all the time, and our mind is going elsewhere. But the fact of the matter is, our body is here. We are attending this call. So what could one do to actually become mindful? What could be a practice? Anybody? Please share. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Being focused in the present, sure. How do we do that though? Doing things that we are passionate about. See, unfortunately we can't be passionate about everything. Maybe we are working, trying to send an Excel to a manager, or we are trying to, cut some vegetables. Maybe that's not really our passion, but still we would like to probably become mindful, isn't it? Focus on breathing. Excellent. Thank you for that, Piyusha. So there are many techniques that one can follow to break this pattern of the mind being thinking only about the past or the future. The first thing is recognition that yes, I'm only thinking about the past, or I'm only thinking about the future. I'm only worrying. So first is recognition, right? And many people are suggesting start to live in the present, fine, concentrate, okay, engage yourself in other activities which give you happiness. True, but not always we can be happy with everything that we do. Try to enjoy what you're doing. I like that. Now let's do a practice, guys. So let's close our eyes. Please, follow my voice cue. Just let's please close our eyes, and I will talk about a body area. All I want you to do is to pay attention to that body area. That's it, nothing else. Just if you could just close your eyes. Nose, lips, left ear, left kneecap, right ear, left cheek, top of the head, bottom sole of your right foot rather, big toe of your left foot, right thumb, left elbow. Focus your attention on your heart. Now, thank you so much for doing that really with me. So this is a very simple practice. And what does this practice do? Whenever you're going through your day and you suddenly recognize that your mind is always filled with worrisome thoughts and you're not in the moment, one of the things you could do is just this. Give yourself a pause and just focus on different areas of your body. It could be anything really, because what now happens is the mind, when you ask it to go and pay attention to something, it'll do that. So immediately, if you say left eye, left cheek, left ear, right ear, automatically the mind will start focusing on that. And also we'll start feeling sensations. Suddenly when we say heart, I mean, most of us don't even recognize that we have a heart all the time, isn't it? But suddenly when you say heart, you will actually start hearing that, loved up sound. We recognize that, oh, I also have a heart, just kidding, but you get the drift. So this is a very powerful practice, a very simple one at that, to become mindful during the day. So please note that, this mindfulness has been proven by science, has tremendous benefits. A couple of them we will share soon, and we can easily relate to that. If you are just focusing on the present, then the chances are whatever we are doing, we will do it better. If you are cooking, probably the cooking will turn out better. If you are programming, probably the program will come out better. If you are talking to somebody, maybe we will establish a better relationship with that person. We will better listen to that person. So it is definitely a known thing that if you are mindful, then you are giving the best to what you're doing. Everybody knows this, and I can again vouch from my experience. I used to study, like all of us in school and college, but I would sit in front of a book for 1 hour, but my efficiency was only 20 minutes. 40 minutes, my mind would, go around the universe, even though my body is sitting in front of a book. And once it comes back, I wouldn't even know what I've studied and what I have not. I'm sure all of us have been there. Now, if you really look at it from an efficiency point of view, productivity point of view, success point of view, clearly this is a colossal waste where we are physically doing something, but not really reaping the rewards. So the benefit of being mindful consciously over a period of time in the tasks that we do is that we achieve higher success in everything that we do, and lesser thoughts about worry. It impacts our health. So I'm sure all of you can easily relate to that benefit. Now, the second practice, which can really help us to become, mindful and be fully in the present, is to, focus on. So our breath is kind of a connector, as you would have heard, many a times earlier from other people, is a kind of a connector to our, mind and our physical body. The one thing that connects these two is called the breath. So if we can regulate the breath, just to take an example, you would have heard people who are very angry. When somebody is angry, how is their breath? How is their breathing? Is the breathing very very deep and a deep inhalation, deep exhalation? No. If If the person is angry, they have shallow breath and they are, forcefully exhaling, isn't it? Same way, when somebody is depressed, they are like, they will take in the breath and not leave it only. It's as if like, some major thing has happened and fallen on their head. And we have all been there, isn't it? So which means the mood and emotion of our mind impacts our breathing. But however, the beauty is if we regulate the breath, it'll again impact the mood and emotion of our mind. So all one has to do is, if you inculcate simple breathing exercises, A, it'll make us come back to the present and be mindful. And B, more importantly, it will help us emote well, right? Like, for example, when you're normal, what you do is you do deep breathing, not very, very deep like when you're depressed, but normal, breathing. You take in the air, regulate, and leave out, with an exhalation. So when we simply do this simple breathing exercises, automatically it affects our emotion. It brings us to the present. So two takeaways, just to recap what we have discussed so far. We understand what mindfulness is being in the present, being aware of our situation and focusing on what we are doing. We understand that we are not mindful all the time. And when are we mindful is either by accident or when we are trying something new. Or as some of you said, when you're doing something you love. But it's not that we love everything. And then we established, do we want to be mindful all the time? Absolutely yes. Because if you're mindful all the time, everything that you do, the success will be better, the outcome will be better, the impact will be better. But the thing is, we don't know how to be mindful all the time, and that's what we are trying to get to. And now we have understood two takeaway practices. First practice is, all one needs to do during the day when you see your mind is troubled or thinking a lot, just pause and do a body scan. So a body scan, it could be internal, it could be external. Just think of different parts of the body, let the mind go there. You can do this for 30 seconds. That's it. We don't need to spend much more time than that. 30 seconds, and automatically we'll be coming back to the present. Second, more powerful practice is breathing exercise. So for this, I would like you to actually hear from the expert. Amisha is an expert yoga trainer, and actually there are many things that she's an expert at, but we will ask her to guide us into a simple breathwork activity which we can take home. Because the one thing the team from Black Lotus wanted to ensure today is that we leave you with takeaways that you can adopt in your lifestyle, so that you can reap the rewards of being mindful without even having to depend on anything else. Amisha, please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. I would request everyone to just sit comfortably. If you have a chair, just go ahead and sit comfortably on a chair, and your hands can be placed at a place which you think are most comfortable with. And just be in the moment, and we're just going to take a few inhalation and exhalation. We'll just do it 5 times. Do it in such a way that you can actually hear your breathing. So please do it consciously. Now, what you're going to do along with me, we're going to do a inhalation, and we're going to do it on a count of 5. So it's, please notice me, it's so we're going to take a deep inhalation on a count of 5, and we're going to exhale on a count of 5. So please do it with me. I would urge you to do it with me. So on a count of 5, we inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay for a second, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do it one more time. We're actually going to count, and we're going to inhale, and we're going to count 5, and we are going to exhale. So count 5 and inhale with me, please. And while you're doing that, we're going to ensure that our mind is completely focused. The dhyana is on your breathing. So when you're inhaling, all your focus is on inhaling. So we'll do it one more time. We're going to count 5 and we're going to inhale, and all your focus is on breathing. You're aware of every possible second of your inhalation, and you're aware of every possible second of your exhalation process, and the complete breath cycle, you'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to feel it. It's not just that it is happening in an automated way. You'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to grab every moment of it. So let's do it 2 more times, and then I'm going to tell you how you can, keep doing it several times in the day. So we're going to do deep inhalation one more time, and then deep inhalation, we're going to take it out, and then we're going to inhale, and we're going to exhale on a count of 5. Please close your eyes this time if you can. And one more time, please. And sit comfortably. Just be aware of your normal breathing. You're not making any effort at all. You're not counting, you're not making any effort. Now, this breath work that we've just done, this breathing exercise that we have just done, you can do it several times in the day. Like while you're walking, you're cooking, you're doing anything for that matter. Let's say you want to take a 1-minute break from work. You've been constantly working, you've been in back-to-back conference calls, you've been into meetings, it's just all you have to do is, just like when we pick up our smartphone and we start looking at our Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp, this is just like picking up yourself and looking at your breath work, looking at your breathing and doing it. It just takes like a minute to do it. In 1 minute, you'll be able to do at least 5 cycles of deep inhalation and exhalation. So do it several times in the day. There's no prescription here that no, you can't do like more than let's say 20 times or 100 times. Just keep doing it as soon as you feel that, yes, this is the time that I want to go back to my breath work. And this is going to really helpful in being mindful, in being in the moment, in realizing that yes, you are fully aware of what you're doing at this very moment. Thank you so much. I hope you would practice. Over to you, Vikram.
Thank you, Amisha. Thanks a lot for that. And that just reminds and reiterates that I should also do this practice more number of times, from the recommendation and the practice you have given us, Amisha. Thank you so much for that. Such a simple practice, and one can easily adopt. So we have learned, we have seen just 2 samples of how one can be mindful. There are a variety of different exercises that one can do where it'll help you to become more mindful, and these are practices which you could do very importantly just before you step into an important meeting, or just before you step into an exam. I only wish that I knew this when I was younger, when I was a student, because then I would be focusing more on what needs to be done rather than thinking about everything else. It is very unfortunate that I used to always think about studying when I was watching TV, and when I'm studying, I'm only thinking about watching TV. It's funny actually that our mind is always thinking about something else, and I'm sure all of us can relate with it easily. But I also see and sense the power of what could have been in my life if I was more mindful with respect to relationships and studies and success in my work and whatnot as well. And that is the idea, that we are on a journey where we could develop ourselves to become better. But the funny thing I think is that I don't think any of us bother or get bothered or worried that, oh, I could not become a Sachin Tendulkar or a Deepika Padukone or an Anushka or a, Sampras or, Einstein for that matter. I don't think any of us bother so much about that. But don't you think we should bother if we cannot become the best that we can be? Now, the one thing that being non-mindful does to us is that we cannot live up to our own potential of whatever that may be. in whichever area that it is, either it is being a brother or a daughter or a son or a friend or an employee, in all areas of our lives. Imagine if we were fully present to what we were doing. Wouldn't we give ourselves more to the work, to the people on hand? And wouldn't that be enriching our lives and causing a bigger impact? I'm sure you can relate to it. So the one thing, and which all of you, I'm sure we know, is that being mindful consciously, not by accident, over a period of time, will definitely make us a better version of ourselves. In fact, being mindful for consistent periods of time helps us to be the best version of ourselves. And I think we should not be conducive and compromise on in this aspect, because it's what we can become. It's within us. So enough of the things that you already know. You have probably many of you can talk better on all of these topics as well. So I have one more small video to show you before we go on to the next topic on hand, and then we quickly will talk about the app. And more importantly, we want to hear questions from you. So please give me a minute or a few seconds to share my screen. And I have one more awareness test, just a fun test actually. So please go through it. Oh, I didn't share the sound. Give me 1 second, please. I'll share the sound again. Yeah, I shared it. So I hope, oops. Hang on 1 second, guys. Yeah, so I'm playing the video. It's just 2 minutes. The question is, who cheated? Which student cheats? Okay.
Students, it appears that we have a bit of a problem on our hands. Now, it has come to my attention that one of you, if not all of you, have been cheating on tests, exams, quizzes, essays, worksheets, all of the like. Now, I don't know who this person or persons are, but I assure you that I will find you, I will hunt you down, and I will bring you to justice. Because this is a school that does not tolerate cheating, and I especially will not tolerate cheating in this classroom. Now that is all. You may leave. Have a good day.
The video is not great. The audio is not great. This is a teacher in a classroom, and what he's saying is that, he's saying that one of the students cheated. There are some 6-7 students sitting there. So he goes around all of them and comes back. And he's saying that one of you, the students cheated, and I'm going to find who you are. Now, question to you is this. Did you figure out who is the student who cheated? Anybody? Shweta, I'll give you the cue in just a minute.
The girl in blue.
Anybody? The girl in blue? Okay, fantastic. The girl in blue. The lady on the extreme right, right? So who was looking a little, as if she has done something, right? So last student on the left side. Excellent, excellent. So I felt the same. I just want you to watch the remaining, and then I will, you will see. You will be stunned. Okay, you will be stunned. Watch the video.
Students, it appears that we have.
This is from another camera.
Now, it has come to my attention that one of you, if not all of you, have been cheating on tests, exams, quizzes, essays, worksheets, all of the like. Now, I don't know who this person or persons are, but I assure you that I will find you, I will hunt you down, and I will bring you to justice. Because this is a school that does not tolerate cheating, and I especially will not tolerate cheating in this classroom. Now, that is all. You may leave. Have a good day.
Did you see that, guys? Everybody cheated. All the students changed. There's a person with a yellow, I don't know, chicken mask here, and they wrote something on the board. And if you actually go through the video, you can make out all of these things. But many of us, for the first time when we see, we cannot make out anything. And we think one of them, by the way the teacher looks at her, is the actual culprit. And unfortunately, this is how probably some of us go through our lives, and certainly I can relate to this, because throughout my life, I'm only in my mind, only in my thoughts, and I only wish I could have been more mindful. Then I could have given my life, a much better shot at it. So Shweta wants to say something, so we'll go on to her, and then we have really another 7-8 minutes of discussion only. So I'm hoping that you're not already utterly bored. If you are, please don't tell us. I'm just kidding. Over to you, Shweta.
No, Vikram, after the session, I'll just take 2-3 minutes.
After the session.
Yes.
All right, sure. No problem at all. Thank you very much. So I'll continue. So what have we established? We know being mindful helps. We know being mindful also ensures we have better success. Also, we know that unfortunately, we have not been mindful probably throughout our lives. Maybe some of you are naturally mindful in your life. I am certainly not like that. So clearly then, if this is so good and so important, how do we be mindful? What can one do to really inculcate this so-called mindfulness, right? There are many tools, by the way, like breath work is one of the powerful tools that is there, right? And we could use other tools like music and certain activities we do to inculcate mindfulness. So however, the one thing we need to understand is that science has established beyond any doubt that mindfulness is a skill. That means all of us can learn it. The same way we learn cycling, the same way we learn swimming, we can learn and inculcate this. So which means our aim should be to do this for sure, because simply all areas of our life will get impacted. Well, the number one tool, I'm sure you know this, the number one tool to inculcate mindfulness is what? Can you please type or answer, please? You can just use your voice also, unmute yourself, say it out. I would actually urge you to unmute and talk, because then it becomes much more interactive and also personal, What is the number one tool? We saw breathwork helps. We saw, body scan helps. We saw doing new things will help. Doing new things we love will help. What else?
Meditation.
Meditation, absolutely right. So the number one tool is meditation. You see, meditation is a tool, and it's very, very important we treat it like that. It is a tool that helps one to become more mindful. That means impacting all areas of our lives. Now, before even I go forward, I'm sure all of us know meditation. We all know about the mental health benefits that are there. Maybe I'll quickly walk you through it. So there are innumerable studies, that have shown that meditation helps the mind. And not only that, it helps the brain. Doing meditation actually rewires the brain. It changes the folds in the brain. It is unbelievable. Last week, the kind of work we are doing, I and Amisha, we are so privileged to meet, people who are experts in their areas of brain and research. So last week we met a brain scientist, and she was sharing the research that she has done, that how meditating even for a few weeks has not only an impact immediately on the person, but even a year later, the actual impact is seen physically in the brain itself. What a wondrous thing is that. Now, we know the science benefits. Meditation helps in sleeping better. It increases our attention span because it makes us more mindful. It lowers blood pressure as well, by as crazy a number as 80%. It reduces anxiety. It reduces stress. Wow. It helps us in so many things. And there are tons of more research material and statistics. Question comes, why, if meditation is so good, don't every one of us meditate? Why isn't meditation taken on as the biggest thing in the world? Can I hear from you, your thoughts on the matter, please? Why aren't all of us meditating? Maybe some of you do, maybe many of you do, but certainly not all of the people in the world are meditating, even though there are so many benefits. Why do you think so? Anybody?
Sir, because when we try, we are not able to concentrate, and we think that we are not getting it.
Yes, very rightly said. A, you are not able to concentrate, and B, we think that we are not getting it. It's very difficult to focus. Maybe we lose interest quickly. Very good, very, very true. I can totally relate to that as well. And like,
and our mind wavers here and there. Instead of thinking on one point, we start thinking on different lines. We reach to some other word.
Absolutely. We go into the meditation thinking that this is what we will do, but our mind will do everything except that one thing, right? So you're absolutely right. Let's continue. By the way, we started a little late, so 11:10 or so. So I'm just looking at time. So please give us 7 to 8 minutes extra if you don't mind, so that we can kind of complete everything that we had to share with you. Our mind works in a different way and not the one in work. Because of our thoughts, it's difficult and it's difficult to focus. Absolutely right. However, let's establish what is not meditation. We think we all know what meditation is, but what is not meditation? Let's establish. I have some 4 choices for you, and I want you to tell me what is not meditation here. What is not meditation? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one? Anybody? Which one is not meditation?
Pursuing thoughts.
Pursuing thoughts, not meditation. Okay, very good. What else?
Pursuing thoughts.
Listening
Okay,
to
anybody else?
nice music,
Imagining scenarios.
Listening to nice
without
music.
awareness.
Okay,
Pursuing
listening to nice music. Okay, without awareness. Okay, some of you say that.
Imagining scenarios.
Everything is
Imagining
meditation.
scenarios.
Imagining scenarios.
Now I realize
Okay.
everything is
All of this is
pursuing
Very nice.
thought meditation.
Free
Okay.
visualization, sir. Free
Free
visualization.
visualization. Excellent. Thank you so much for answering. It really means a lot. So actually, if you really look at it theoretically as to what meditation is and meditation is not, none of these are actually meditations. You see, many of us probably have meditated like this. Like, you imagine yourself in a cave, some light will come, is coming from you. Imagine the light spreading everywhere. The entire earth is full of light. Your brother is full of light. Sun is full of light. And light, oh light. I mean, that's a visualization. And many of the apps out there also give you such experiences. Unfortunately, though, this is not the true meditation. Yes, it may make us feel good. Visualizations are awesome to make us feel good. Yes, pursuing thoughts help us in other ways. When you are meditating and you are pursuing a chain of thought, suddenly you get an idea, maybe you make a plan for properly, etc. But none of these are in the truest sense meditation. And that is one of the reasons why many of us find it difficult to start meditating, because we start with the wrong foot. We start with the wrong approach, you see. So what is meditation? It's a practice. Anybody can inculcate. It is a practice to inculcate mindfulness, focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity. Ignore the theory, training our attention and awareness, importantly, to achieve an emotional calm and sensitive and a peaceful state. Now, here is one thing I want to share with you. If we don't start meditation with the right way, learning the right way, the first few steps, it becomes very difficult. Like, for example, I close my eyes. How long should I close my eyes? How long should I do the meditation? How many types of meditation should I try? When is it going to impact? All these questions come into our mind. So importantly, what should we understand is intense short meditations are much more important than 30 minutes, 1 hour, 45 minutes meditation. The first time I started meditating, I used to meet people with similar interests, and the first question they would ask is, how long you meditate? And I would say 30 minutes, and that person would say, hey, I meditate 45 minutes. Now, unfortunately, people think meditating or sitting for longer is more impactful. The real truth of the matter scientifically is not. Doing just 2 minutes meditation, 3 minutes meditation, 5-minute meditation, but with quality is more important. So that means learning the right way is very important for seeing impact. And the opposite is, if we don't do this right, then we will not see the impact. And once you don't see the impact, why do you even want to do it? And many of us also have these notions that we need to keep focusing. Now, I want to give you a practice right away. So if you don't mind, please, close your eyes. Just literally a 1-minute practice. Okay, an introduction to meditation of sorts. Just give me a second, please. Okay. Are you able to hear me? Is this fine? Anand, is this okay?
Yes.
Okay,
it
thank
will
you.
be a little louder. The sound is really
I'll be a little louder. Okay, I'll be a little louder. I'll be a little louder. My apologies. So please close your eyes and just give me 1 second, please. Yeah. So please close your eyes. And unfortunately, there are so many things going wrong with our power and UPS and internet at the same time. My humble apologies if suddenly something gets broken and the Zoom call gets cut. Other people will be there. Amisha will leave. Shweta is there. So my humble apologies up front, because I see so many things wavering. That's why I keep asking, are you able to hear me? So coming back, please close your eyes. All I want you to do is to follow the simplest practice of meditation, which is focusing on your breath. So for the next 30 seconds, all I want you to do is observe your breath. Please observe your inhalation, your exhalation. You don't need to change how you inhale or exhale. Please observe how you are breathing in and out. I'll give you 30 seconds of silence. Okay, thank you very much. So you can come back, open your eyes. Thank you so much for participating in this activity. Now, I just want to hear your results before I give you the important takeaway. So the first question is, were you able to, so what happened? Were you able to always focus on your breath? Anybody?
No,
were you
sir.
able to consciously, fully focus inhalation and exhalation? Or did you see your mind wavering?
Not any time.
Right, no, right, not happening, right? So this is why we find it so hard, right? The first time somebody, my uncle taught me this breath meditation, all he said is, just focus on your breath. And I tried to do it. The first few seconds are okay. First time you breathe, it's okay. First time you exhale, it's okay. 2 times, 3rd time, okay. But by the 4th time, boom, my mind would have gone somewhere. Well, here is the key takeaway. And this is where quality learning matters. The key takeaway here is that what we should do is the practice here is not to focus on the breath. Array, I thought you told me to focus on the breath. No, the correct practice here is all one needs to do is you start focusing on the breath, but the moment the mind goes away, bring the mind back to the breath. Yes, it will go away again. Bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to the breath. Every time you see your mind waver, bring it back to the breath. Now, when you do this, I'll tell you what happens as well. This becomes a practice, an abhyas for the mind to keep coming back to the object on focus. Now, you're studying, you're sitting in front of a book for 1 hour, and suddenly what will now happen is our mind will go away because we don't like studying. We don't like most of the things that we do. So the moment we are doing it, our mind will go away. But what would you have done? You would have trained your mind with few minutes of this breath meditation where you have trained it to come back, come back, come back. And automatically now what happens is when you're sitting and studying, mind goes, you can bring it back. You're writing this Excel, mind. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Please go ahead.
Sorry for disturbance, sir. I am Anita Sharma from Army School, Jammu Can. Sir, this is a problem. When I meditate, my pulse rate increases. What is the reason for that?
So there, actually, I don't want to simply blurt out an answer. There might be many reasons for it. First thing you need to do is to always ensure that medically, your health is fine, etc. But if your health is fine and you're meditating and you feel some body changes, it's okay. Just stay with it. Stay with the practice. That's a suggestion. We'll take up more questions in Q&A coming up in the next few minutes only. If you don't mind, I'll wrap this up right now. So what is the practice here? The practice here in breath meditation is that. Thank you, madam. So the practice here in breath meditation is not to focus on the breath, but whenever our mind wavers, bring it back to the breath. If we do this for a few minutes every day, just a few minutes, ideally multiple times in the day, then that will A, make us mindful, and B, give us all these benefits of meditation that it would do. So my humble request is to please try this out. I'm telling you from the brain scientist we discussed about, she says we can do this anytime. The moment meditation comes into mind, at least for me, I used to think of sadhus in caves in Himalayas where
I think we have lost Bikram. Amisha, can you take over? Amisha, you're not audible.
What Bikram was, I'm so sorry about that. So what Bikram was trying to say.
Ma'am, you are not voice visible properly, ma'am.
Are you able to hear? Is everybody able to hear me now? If you could just give me a cue that you are able to hear me.
Yes, Amisha.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks. So just taking the thread ahead from what Vikram was saying, that you don't really have to retreat yourself to a cave, and you don't really need, a certain setting to be mindful, to meditate. Meditation can happen anywhere. It can happen from the comfort of your sofa. It can happen at any place on this planet. What you need is one, the intention to meditate, and not forcefully trying to meditate, because it's just like, if you close your eyes and you're like, I'm going to meditate, you can never force yourself to meditate. It's a natural progression, and all you have to be mindful of is that whenever your mind wanders, whenever it tries to go and it tries to jump from one thought to another, you just be aware. The fact that you are aware that your mind is wandering around, it's going from one tree to another in the forest of thoughts that you have, that in itself is a huge achievement. And then you can bring back your mind, and you can concentrate, you can focus and on the now, on at this very moment. So just was completing what Vikram was saying. And
thank you.
Vikram, you want to take on?
Yeah, I just want to wrap up actually. So thank you very much, guys. I again, the power issue that I told you happened, and I'm now back on my mobile. So just a few more minutes and we are really done. We first of all want to thank you for your time. Really, it's clocking 12 o'clock, so 12:10. So we are almost on the hinge of an hour. So we'll wrap up in the next 2 minutes, really, and not keep you for longer. But we would love to hear your questions and answers, and we'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Now that we know that meditation is a tool, and we don't need to do this in the way that you sit in a particular place or give hours of time, etc. And it's a simple practice, and this breath meditation is the simplest one that one can do anywhere. However, what is also considered a good thing is to actually learn the meditation the right way, step by step. Now, in that context, I want to tell you that what we have is an app called Black Lotus, where we typically help people understand how to meditate literally from scratch, day by day. Now, instead of taking time to explain about the app, how it works, etc., what we would want you to do is to experience it yourself, because that is the best way. We believe that if it works for you, then you will use it. If it doesn't work, then you can try something else. So the key takeaways of what we have been discussing are, just to quickly wrap up and allow you to ask questions and as well, is that one, we have understood that doing a body scan helps us come back to the present. Two, focusing on your breath, doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breath work will really help us calm down, along with helping us come to the present. And three, we have got introduced to a simple meditation practice. Do not be undermine the effect of this by the simplicity. Our humble request is multiple times throughout the day, just 1 minute, 2 minutes, nothing more than that. You could simply focusing on the breath, bringing the mind back to the breath multiple times. And lastly, we are leaving you with this app called Black Lotus. You can go to the Play Store or App Store and simply download the app. You can use it for free for only a small time. That is the reason why in collaboration with IWFF, we will give you a code. The code is called Fit Mind, FITMIND. So when you are registering into the app, and we will send you the info as well, you can simply type Fit Mind, and the moment you type that, you will automatically get, and thank you, Anand, for typing that out in the chat. Everybody can see that. And Anand, you can type in the blacklotus.app as well, the website. So you can simply go to Google and type Black Lotus app. You will get the first link you will get is our site and access to it. So download the app, install it. While registering, type in Fit Mind. When you do, automatically all the goal packs, all the meditations open up for you. You can use it for half a month. And once you use it for half a month, if you are using it regularly, you can use it again for another 15 days, which means for a month, you can use the app and all the meditation practices which are there free of cost. And please use this to inculcate the practice of meditation. If the app really helps you, then you can continue to use it. Otherwise, we urge you to consider using meditation as a tool to impact your mindfulness on a daily basis. So this is what we wanted to share. We had another guided meditation we wanted to do, but unfortunately we are over time. So I will not take more of your time. I will allow Shweta to add her bit for a few minutes. But before that, if you have any questions, please ask at least a few minutes. We would want to answer your questions, please. Anybody has any questions or queries? And if at all the session was a little lengthy, our apologies. We really prepared hard for this, thinking that we would be able to finish in 45 minutes and give you 15 minutes of Q&A. But because of so many things, we may have missed that. So our sincere apologies for that. But anybody has any questions, please? Fantastic. So please note. Yeah.
Somebody wanted to know, is there a feedback form?
Yes, there is a feedback form. Anand, you need to type that out because I'm on my mobile. So I had given you the link. Please paste that in the chat box. So please fill the feedback form. We would love to hear from you. And I'm sure I and Amisha already know the many places we can improve in this session. And thanks for your niceness, if you will, that you have been polite and understanding with all the disruptions. So our apologies for that. Having said that, the key takeaways, if you can adopt that, then we will be super happy, really. The body scan, the breath work that Amisha guided us in, and the 2-minute guided meditation. There are 70 plus meditations in the app. Please try it out. The app will handhold you and teach you how to meditate, even if you're a beginner. So you will experience it yourself. Please fill the feedback form. I now ask Shweta to do the closing remarks. And if anybody has anything to say, please go ahead.
Because we do have one question, and I do want to pick it up. The question is what are we supposed to do in meditation? Are we supposed to not think about anything or just try to focus on something? So Vikram, do you want to take it up?
Yeah, thank you for asking, Amisha. So the good thing is the app will kind of handhold you and tell you that when you use it, but just to kind of answer the question, which is very important, what should one do when you close your eyes, for example, right? Because there are so many thoughts flying. When your eyes are open, it's okay. But the moment you close your eyes, the entire world of thoughts start gushing in. So what should one do? Well, there are a few, theoretically speaking, there are different types of meditations. One is just the focus on the breath, right? So that becomes an anchor for us to help us keep our mind there. And as it goes back, please bringing it back to the breath. So that is meditation by breath. The second type of meditation is meditation on sound. So instead of trying to empty the mind, please do not try to empty the mind, because it is not easy to do, or probably impossible as well. The moment you tell the mind to keep quiet, it is going to think even more. So rather, you just put your focus on something. So the focus could be on the breath. The focus could be on the sounds. You could turn on music, or you could simply close your eyes and start listening to all the happenings around you. Focusing on the sound is itself meditation. You could also try to, the next step of meditation is focusing on form. Maybe you have an Ist Devata, a Shiva or a Krishna. You can think and visualize that in that form and in as vivid a detail as possible. And the other way is to actually focus on a thought itself. Now, there are progressive stages. If you are a beginner, the recommendation is to simply do the focus on the breath and then graduate to focusing on sound. These are very simple for us to start off with in the beginning, so that we don't need to worry about the thoughts that come. Thoughts will come, mind will waver, just bring it back. The number one practice to follow is consistency. Don't worry about how qualitative the sitting is or session is in the beginning. Just do it every day, just for a few minutes, ideally multiple times in the day. Then we will see that once you put in the effort for a couple of weeks, you will start seeing an internal result. You will see an impact, and not that we'll start seeing lights or suddenly we'll get intuition or start seeing the future, but you will internally feel that, yes, this is impacting me in some way. Once you see that, that becomes the motivation to kind of continue. Amisha, you want to add anything? Please go ahead. Yeah, This and more are taught by the app step by step, actually. So we recommend you to go through it. And please note, the app is founded by Om Swami. He is an expert meditator. He has logged 15,000 meditation hours, and he has unbelievable control over his mind, brain, physical body, and he can really focus any part of in ways that normal people can't. And it is his expertise that is put into the app, which says that all one needs to do is practice few minutes of meditation throughout the day, and automatically we'll start seeing results. So I would like Shweta to add, please. Shweta, can you hear me?
Yes, Vikram, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to turn on my video now. And
Please.
if you all are comfortable, please turn on your video. I think we would really like to see everybody who's attended the session, but of course, only if you're comfortable. On behalf of IWFF team, I really thank you, Amisha, Vikram, and the entire team at Black Lotus for taking this session. And I also thank each and every one of you who's present here. And I, coming from a background of physical well-being, I also feel that mental well-being is an ongoing process. So just like the way I am a person who has been, on and off meditation, and I can see the results coming and going exactly the way it happens when you work out. So as long as I'm working out and taking care of my nutrition, the results are coming in. And when I stop doing that, I can see the health deteriorate. And I think mental health is also something that requires ongoing looking after. And I think I would really urge and request each one of you to utilize this app. I know I'm going to do that, to utilize this app and share it. Please share it with your family, share it with your friends, have them download it, because in times to come and in today, it is the most critical thing that we really, really need to look after. And the one simple practice that I have started to do is I have lost the desire to control outcomes. And I have realized that the only thing I can control is my own action and my own reactions, right? And it's just made my life so easy. That's the only practice I have been able to adopt, and I have so much more to learn and adopt. So I hope you all do that. We would love to hear from you. The feedback form is on the chat window. There has been some lags, there has been some delays. I do apologize. This was our first event. We had some technical glitches, but all of you are still there with us. It means the world to us. And we really hope to work on these glitches. I would also have our email ID. Arshita, if you could please put in the email ID and the social media handles. Put in the chat window. We are planning to come up with a lot of events related to women, not only mental well-being, but cover almost all aspects that impacts a woman. So please connect with us on our social media handles so that you are always updated. And if there is anything you would like us to cover, any suggestions, any feedback, okay, I'll have to, okay. So please drop us an email. Thank you once again. That's about it. That's about it.
Thank you very much,
lovely
everybody.
To see so many of you. When you turn on the video, thank you very much. Vikram, you can please close the sessions. Everything is there on the chat window, people. So yes.
Oh, just a second. Like I would just send the email ID on the chat box, but they just disable the option to send the message to one. So if for a second you could correct that.
Oh, okay. Will please pass it on to Anand personally, and he will put it on the post.
Sure.
One more thing, everybody. We're going to send out the Black Lotus app detail and as well as the code that we were urging you to put to access the free content. We're going to send it out on an email so that all of you have it handy. So we're going to just send you a follow-up email as well.
Yep. Thank you. And just to add to what Shweta said, really thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience, and thank you for your understanding. We genuinely wanted to share from our past and experience as to how meditation can impact. And even if one takeaway we were able to connect with you and share it, then I think it's a great success, and we feel that we have given credit. But really, 1 hour giving us to strangers. It's not a simple thing. You could have been with family, you could have been with friends, you could have watched something on Netflix, yet you are here. And I know it means the world for the Black Lotus team and Shweta. So really, thank you very much. Good day. Have a good weekend and stay safe.
Thank you,
sir, for the wonderful session.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir, for this wonderful session. You never try to make it a complex one.
Thank you. That
In
means
a lucid
a
way,
lot to
you
us.
try to make us understand in a lucid way. Wonderful, excellent, sir.
Thank you so much.
Excellent, sir. Excellent it is. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent, sir. Thank you.
So nice of you. No, thank you so much. Good day. Bye.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye. Bye, sir. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, madam. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. It was great to attend.
Nice
It's our
session.
pleasure to have you.
Nice session, sir.
Bye, sir. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Thank you, madam. Namaste.